So today we're going to make some Cyclosporine Ophthalmic eye drops with olive oil, 2%. And this is the formula, which I'm sure you've become really familiar with by now. We've already weighed out the cyclosporine and QS'd it with olive oil. We are making a corn oil and an olive oil. And so this will mix on very low heat until it's completely dissolved. Once it's dissolved, we're going to take it into the buffer room and pre-filter it with a 0.45 filter just to get out the bigger particles. And then after that, we cook it in the oven until it's sterilized. I'm going to be showing you the entire process from step by step. And this would be the first step, making the formula, mixing the drug in. And next I will show you how we pre-filter. Now we're going to pre-filter the oil for the ophthalmic, and I'm just going to get some isopropyl alcohol and clean the lead. Always clean the deck flat.
Okay.
And the supplies that we're going to use is a 0.45 pre-filter. So you always need to make sure that you wipe everything down before it goes into the hood. I'm going to get my drug, which is right here. And then we also need to use a vacuum. So we use an air compressor with a tube. Put on the vacuum, and then we're going to hit start on the vacuum. And then once there's enough pressure, the oil will start coming through to this side. The filter is at the very bottom of this container, and as you can see, it's starting to come through. After it is completely gone from here down to here, I will put the oil in these vials, and then we reseal them and cook them in the oven. So that'll be our next step. And the last step of our cyclosporine eye drops are to be cooked in the convection oven. This is a dry heat oven, and it's used to cook oil-based products. I will cook the product at 150 degrees Celsius for 2 hours and 30 minutes. So all I'll do is take my product here, and I have a timer, and it just goes right inside. Now, to ensure that everything was cooked sterilely, we also have little indicators that we put in. They look just like this. This will go in the oven with the drug, and at the end of the cycle, when we take everything out, we will aseptically transfer this little meter in here, and we place it into a growth medium, and then we will put it in the incubator for a set number of days. For this one, it is 5 days. And if there's any growth in this growth medium at the end of the 5 days, then the oven did not do its job, and it must be retested. So that is the entire process of our Cyclosporine eye drops to get it sterile. After it's sterile, then I'm going to show you how we transfer it into our eye drops. So the next part of our ophthalmic is the vials have been cooked, everything is sterilized, and now we are going to fill the syringe with the eye drop liquid, the oil liquid, and we're going to be putting them into the eyedroppers. The best way to fill the syringe is to backfill it. And we have put a sterile cap on the opening, and we're pouring the solution into a 60 milliliter syringe. Getting the air out. Now we're going to take our droppers. This one is a 15 milliliter dropper. And we'll simply transfer the solution into the dropper. The last part of this step will be to sterilely and aseptically place the cap onto the dropper. And the best way to do this will be to scoop the lid into the part that's going to touch the eye, so the dropper never touches anything. Alright, and that's it. And finally, the last step for our ophthalmic solutions would be to take the ending product. Everything has been transferred into the 15 milliliter droppers, and we are going to label them. So we'll put a label on them, and then we also hold aside 2 of them so we can do sterility testing. And then we're going to want to seal the ophthalmic droppers with a tamper-evident seal. So I'm just going to use the heat gun. And when heat is applied, it will shrink it to its form. And that way you will know if the container has been tampered with or not. That would be the last step. Thanks for following us on our journey on how to make Cyclosporine ophthalmic droppers. Please stay tuned for our next video.